Chapter 627, Treatment Plan. Lumion had initially theorized the presence of multiple demons on Hanth Island, specifically the sealed blood-colored demon and the ice blue-eyed demon. However, to his astonishment, he discovered various ice blue-eyed demons in the cathedral. How many demons inhabit this island? Are they all part of the same family with ice blue eyes? As expected of the mother of all things, even a demon can be her child, a whole nest of them. As thoughts swirled in Lumion's mind, accompanied by those piercing ice blue eyes and the name Nabordisli, he felt that his previous investigations and speculations were completely off course. The complexity and mystery surrounding the legend of the demons on Hanth Island surpassed his initial imagination. No, there are still gains and benefits. Speculation involves bold assumptions and careful confirmation. It's normal for initial assumptions to be overturned. The elimination method is a crucial deduction tool. How can there be unsolved cases that are guessed completely correct from the beginning? The crucial aspect lies in consistently refuting the incorrect path through falsification and integrating new information acquired during the investigation to uncover the right one. If I were to take the reader pathway, it should be relatively straightforward for me to act the role of a detective. Discerning a conspiracy stands out as one of the primary duties of a detective. Lumion reassured himself, disentangling from the impact of the two ice blue-eyed demons. He regained his clarity and rationality, no longer feeling befuddled and disoriented. Under the blistering sunlight, he swiftly identified an issue. In the scene I witnessed through the mystery-prying glasses, the blood-colored demon was pulled by an invisible force, but there was only one invisible force, and only a pair of ice blue eyes gazed at me. There's only one ice blue-eyed demon closely linked to the blood-colored demon, and that's the elder Baselli who repented before the sacred emblem of life. The others, including the ice blue-eyed clergyman, are its descendants. Could they be the offspring it left behind with the nuns when it used the Hanth Island's cloister to restore its youth and obtain a new identity? However, when the ice blue-eyed clergyman mentioned Baselli, it didn't sound like it was referring to its father, grandfather, or ancestor. It was as if it was discussing a friend with whom it didn't share an amicable relationship. Moreover, it also identifies itself as Nabordisli. Could this be a family name, a significant family name among the abyss demons? Puzzled, Lumion boarded the berries and returned to his first-class suite. At that moment, Lugano and Ludwig were relishing a lavish lunch. Upon spotting Lumion, the doctor grinned sheepishly and said, "I thought you'd be indulging in the local delights on the island, so I didn't wait for you." Lumion sat down and grabbed a wheat-flavored bun. As he chewed, he asked thoughtfully, "What do you know about the abilities of the plantar pathway?" Lugano hesitated for a moment before truthfully responding. "Sequence 9 plantar significantly boosts my strength. I can predict the weather to a certain extent by observing clouds, wind, and other natural phenomena. I'm adept at identifying seeds and nurturing them. Farming tools suit me more than knives and guns." Sequence 8 doctors' primary abilities revolve around healing. They can discern the patient's specific situation through spirit vision. They possess outstanding surgical skills, such as suturing severed limbs and transplanting internal organs. Additionally, we gain beyonder abilities like evil ailment treatment, trauma treatment, soul suture, and life-giving. As far as I know, the next sequence is called Harvest Priest. It mainly focuses on promoting the reproduction and growth of creatures and bringing about a bumper harvest with beyonder powers. Upon hearing this, Lumion suddenly interrupted Lugano. "Soul suture. How is this implemented?" Lugano grinned sheepishly and said, "I haven't really used this ability yet. It's used to treat soul injuries. As you know, some superpowers can attack the soul, making it difficult for it to heal on its own. At this moment, as long as the injured let go of their bodies and minds and don't resist, I can carry out a soul-level surgery to stitch up the corresponding wound." Lumion's concern wasn't about stitching up a soul. It was another matter that provided him with a fresh perspective on the demon legends of Hanth Island. He downed the pre-meal bun and took a sip of the golden liqueur. After a moment of contemplation, he inquired, Since you can suture souls from a different standpoint, can you also sever souls? Lugano fell silent. After 10 to 20 seconds, he responded, theoretically, yes, but it requires the corresponding person to completely open up their body and mind, leaving their soul unprotected. It would be even more effective if their physical body doesn't exist. The doctor hesitated for a moment before adding, this can serve as an attack on the soul, but it could also be a treatment method. If a patient's soul is corrupted by a curse, they can address it by severing the depravity and allowing their soul to gradually heal. Upon hearing this, Lumian smiled and applauded softly. Well said, well said. Lugano, being thick-skinned, couldn't help but feel a bit embarrassed by the praise. He blurted out, that's just my speculation. I haven't tested it yet. Lumian ignored him and proceeded to emulate what Ludwig had done. He forked a lamb chop onto his plate and began cutting with determination. Simultaneously, the initial sensations when he faced the onslaught of the ice-blue-eyed demon resurfaced in Lumian's mind. He witnessed diverse versions of himself, a version brimming with hatred, another immersed in pain, one engrossed in lust, and another consumed by various desires and emotions. As Lugano detailed the process of suturing and soul severing, an idea sparked in Lumian's mind. What if the high-sequence abilities of the plantar pathway were employed to excise different aspects of the soul corresponding to various desires? Could there truly be just one ice-blue-eyed demon on Hanth Island, but its soul had been partitioned by the saints and even angels of the Church of Earth Mother, each becoming an individual? On a mystical level, they remain a single entity. Hence, is there only one invisible force closely tied to the blood-colored demon? The question now is, why would the Church of Earth Mother undertake such an action? Imposing restrictions or offering protection? Perhaps both. Lumian swiftly linked this with the state of the blood-colored demon. It consistently descended into the pitch-black sewage before being hoisted up by an unseen force. Splitting the soul acted as a shield for the ice-blue demon, preventing corruption from the power of the pitch. Black sewage. Wait, could the ice-blue-eyed demon be the untainted segment of the blood-colored demon's soul? Is the Church of Earth Mother's approach based on deeming the entire body beyond salvation, but parts are still considered healthy? Is that why a healthy soul needs to be severed into different desires? The forest sealing off the mysterious valley, pitch-black sewage, and the blood-colored demon displayed characteristics of rebirth, growth, depravity, death, and rebirth. Again, the soul fragments of the blood-colored demon were given new life, enabling them to utilize the cycle of rebirth, growth, aging, death, and rebirth again to resist the corruption spreading from their true bodies. Simultaneously, relying on the existence of the healthy parts prevented the blood-colored demon from sinking entirely. Aging soul fragments are inherently more vulnerable to corruption from the main body, and newborns are the healthiest. This explains why the old Baselli and the ice blue-eyed clergymen are in different states. Such a newborn possesses a demon's potent soul, but its human body is exceedingly frail. Yes, it aligns with my observations of Baselli. Its feeble and aged body encases a potent soul teeming with malevolence. This method of sealing and rescuing aligns with the Church of Earth Mother's unique abilities. With these revelations, Lumian felt enlightened. Only then did he realize that he had been continuously cutting the lamb chop's bones, producing a grinding sound. Lugano pretended not to notice or hear anything, focusing on enjoying his meal. Ludwig paid no attention to such trivial matters, wholly absorbed in the delicacies. Lumian withdrew his gaze and happily poured himself a glass of Paha red wine. The confusion, disorder, loss, and disappointment he had previously experienced dissipated significantly. As he drank, he leisurely pondered, this hypothesis aligns most with the current details. Unfortunately, it can't be verified, nor do I dare to. And without verification and results, there's no feedback for the potion's digestion. Forget it. The experience and lessons I gained this time are much more important than the digestion I can still attempt in the future. Why does the Church of Earth Mother want to protect the blood-colored demon? Moreover, since a healthy soul has been separated and given new life, why not completely destroy and purify the corrupted true form to eliminate any hidden dangers? There's a high chance that this involves the world's deep secrets. Is that blood-colored demon the true and largest Nabordisli? Was the one seeking a deal to slay Hanth Island's demon descendant it? Can it, in turn, affect a few soul fragments, allowing me and a mid-sequence beyonder like Franca to slay a true demon? The more Lumion contemplated, the more curious he became about the truth. However, he eventually restrained himself. For beyonders at his level, this matter was concluded. After leaving Hanth Island, he would report his gains and speculations to Madame Magician and consult the Tarot Club's major arcana card holders. Lumion, putting aside his investigative thoughts, felt a sense of relief. He spent the rest of his time leisurely strolling through Port Hanth. To his surprise, he realized that the Berserk Sea Island city, far from the Phaenopotter Kingdom, didn't have a genuine casino. There were no criminal industries like human trafficking. It was as clean as if it had been purified by the eternal Blazing Sun Church. After engaging in fighting evil and other card games throughout the afternoon, Lumion, with wins and losses not exceeding 1 gold risat, finally grasped the reason. Unable to control themselves, the ice blue-eyed demons prioritized the malevolent wrongdoers, making them vanish into the forest outside the city. As time, a century or two, elapsed, Port Hanth could be deemed a city bathed in sunlight. Certainly there were innocents among them, like Antonio Elias. Late at night, in the first-class cabin suite of the Berries. In his slumber, Lumion vaguely witnessed the land shrouded in sulphurous flames, and the blood-colored demon sprawled within the pitch-black liquid.